Good morning. On behalf of the Mississippi Valley Division, the Vicksburg District, the Engineer Research and Development Center, welcome to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers 250th Anniversary Ceremony. Happy birthday. At this time, please stand for the playing of Ruffles and Flourishes, followed by the presentation and posting of the colors and the national anthem. Please take your seats. Join me in welcoming our official party for today's ceremony. Mr. Sam Andrews, representative of Governor Tate Reeves' office. Alderman T.J. Mayfield, City of Vicksburg. Major General Kimberly Peoples, Mississippi Valley Division Commanding General. Dr. Beth Fleming, Chief Scientist and Director of Research and Development for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the Director of the U.S. Army Research and Development Center. Brigadier General Chris Thomas from the Adjutant General's Office, Mississippi National Guard, who also serves as Commander, 184th Expeditionary Sustainment Command and Director, Military Affairs and Economic Development. Miss Patricia Hemphill, Professional Engineer and Deputy District Engineer for Programs and Project Management, Vicksburg District. And Mr. Austin Golding, President and CEO, Golding Barge Line. We also give a warm welcome to the following special guests: congressional representatives from across the region, officials from the City of Vicksburg, Warren County, and the states of Mississippi and Louisiana, industry partners in academia, current and former Corps employees, military contingents from the Mississippi National Guard and 412th Theater Engineer Command, and our most esteemed retirees. Thank you all so much for joining us for today's ceremony. On behalf of nearly 8,000 soldiers and Department of the Army civilians who make up the Mississippi Valley Division, Vicksburg District, and URDIC, thank you for joining us in today's momentous occasion to celebrate 250 years of the U.S. Army and Army Engineers service to our nation. To welcome us to the city of Vicksburg, our first speaker today is Alderman T.J. Mayfield.
Good morning. First of all, thank all of you for being here today. I will say that when I woke up this morning and I prayed that it wouldn't rain, I forgot that not rain would bring the Mississippi heat. So because of that, I guarantee you I will not be long to welcome you guys here to the city of Vicksburg. The beautiful city of Vicksburg, we thank each and every one of you for being here and celebrating this beautiful day today. 250 years of service and dedication, not just to Vicksburg, but to the state of Mississippi and to this great country. The collaboration that we've worked with the city of Vicksburg, Warren County, all around this great nation, we thank you for what you continue to do for each and every one of us. Bicentennial here in the city of Vicksburg means a lot to us. We've had events all year long, and we will continue to celebrate this wonderful city and everything that we've accomplished. But none of that is possible without the work and the dedication of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The Mississippi Valley District, the Vicksburg District, and the Engineering Research Development Center, better known as when I worked there in high school, Waterways Experiment Station. So for all of you, we thank you for being here at the city of Vicksburg. We welcome you to come back to enjoy our beautiful river and all of these hills that we have. So if you ever want to get some exercise, walk up and down these hills, and I guarantee you'll get it in overnight. Thank each and every one of you, and we're proud to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. We appreciate your support. We also want to thank the city for allowing us to use this beautiful park, and the city police and Warren County Sheriff's Department for ensuring our safety today. On June 14th, 1775, the Continental Army was established, thus becoming the U.S. Army. And on June 16th, 1775, General George Washington appointed Colonel Richard Gridley as the first chief engineer, marking the beginning of the Corps of Engineers' rich history. This set the stage for the establishment of the first permanent engineer office in Vicksburg in 1873. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Miss Pat Hemphill.
Good morning. What a cool day we have. Did you agree? All right, so I understand protocol has been set. You've been properly welcomed. So my job now is to just talk to you a little bit, very briefly, about how we are building this legacy and continuing to build upon the shoulders of those that came before us. While the Corps of Engineers is celebrating 250 years, the Vicksburg District just celebrated 150 years, and we see that we're right there between or right after the city of Vicksburg's 200 years birthday celebration. So I can proudly say I was not here when all this started. And I can also proudly say I will not be here when all this is done, because we're talking about building the legacy. And how can we talk about building the legacy without giving honor and homage to the ones who started all of this for us? So if you think about how you build the building blocks, the foundations, I go back to my roots, not far from here, 5 miles down the street. But more importantly, God planted me here in Vicksburg. So I'm a native, didn't know anything about the Corps of Engineers growing up, grew up like 2 miles from the river, but because of the work of the Corps, we never had a problem. Folks built on a high hill, never had a problem. They farmed in the lowland by the river, had a problem. But still, through it all, we're still here. So the one thing I want to say to you about building a legacy, not only with the Corps, but anything that you do, you've got to leave it better than you found it. You've got to know that people will always remember how you made them feel. So whenever the Corps, cast of civilians and military, go into a place to help, be it with the flood, be it with the emergency response, be it with any disaster, be it with anything, just coming in to talk, public meetings just to help you understand what's going on, we've got to know that you understand, that we understand. Our empathy and our compassion is one of our trademarks. When we take our oath as civilians to come in, we say we are here with you, we care, we understand, and that's what you pay us to do. At the end of the day, we work for you. You're taxpayers. You pay my salary. I appreciate it. Please keep working and paying my salary. I like money. I like money. So let us never forget that as a servant, as a public servant, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is here to help you work together to find solutions, to help you work together to make it easier and to make it better. But I'll end this with my personal testimony, and that is started in high school, passed by the spot where we now work, never knew anything, as I said, about the Corps of Engineers, but for God's grace and Him putting people in the path to help us. That's why we're all here today. He put us all in place. So let's never forget or neglect to make people understand how important they are and what they do and how they contribute to the success of this great country. So with the Corps of Engineers and with our creed, let us try. We will continue to serve you for another 250 plus years, because that's a dash and there's not something on the end of that dash. We continue on. Thank you very much.
Over the years, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has played a crucial role in the expansion of the nation's waterborne and land-based transportation systems. We oversaw the building of dams and levees and maintaining of navigation channels. Please join me in welcoming Major General Kimberly Peoples, Commander, Mississippi Valley Division.
Well, good morning. What a beautiful day, as we've already heard, for this birthday celebration in this amazing community. I am honored to represent today the United States Army, the United States Army Corps of Engineers, the Mississippi Valley Division, and your Mississippi River Commission. It's a humbling position, as today we pause to reflect on 250 years and look forward to the next 250. I want to start with a hearty thank you to our hosts, the City of Vicksburg. Alderman Mayfield, thank you so much for the warm welcome today. The Peoples family is proud to call 39180 home. And from the moment we arrived here 2 years ago, I understood why the Army Corps of Engineers planted their guidon here. Vicksburg is, in fact, its key terrain for our nation. We treasure the key to the city, and we want to thank Mayor Flaggs for offering that warm recognition to us. Ms. Pat Hemphill, you are a hard act to follow, and I want to thank you for your unwavering leadership to the Vicksburg District and for keeping Colonel Gibson in line. Thank you, hard job. You put people first always, and it shows in everything you do. I want to thank you for 30 years of service to our nation. The U.S. Army was founded on June 14th, 1775, and the Corps of Engineers followed just 2 days later. This was no accident. General George Washington knew that to be a successful fighting force, he needed a successful engineer regiment by his side, a branch of the Army to solve the nation's toughest engineering problems. Today we celebrate his vision and those who paved the way. The explorers, most of you have heard about Lewis and Clark, right? Their famous expedition to explore the Missouri River. But did you know Meriwether Lewis was an Army engineer? How about Zebulon Pike, Amos Stoddard, Stephen Long, John Fremont? All engineers, all pathfinders. Between 1805 and 1807, Zebulon Pike explored the upper Mississippi, the Arkansas, the Red Rivers, and his journals inspired a nation. In 1804, Amos Stoddard governed the Louisiana Territory, and in 1812 he published the first English history. In 1817, Stephen Long led an expedition to explore the upper Mississippi River and later led scientific explorations of the Missouri River up to Yellowstone. John Fremont earned the nickname the Pathfinder through his explorations west of the Mississippi River and inspired westward expansion. And then there's Shreve. As Army engineers explored the West, Congress asked its Army to improve the river for navigation. In 1824, the birth of the Corps' Civil Works mission. To execute this mission, we partnered with experts and industry, just as we do today, and I want to thank you, Mr. Golden. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers assigned this task to Captain Henry Shreve. Shreve invented a mission-designed snag boat just for this purpose. He didn't start as a soldier, but changed history due to his technical expertise and ingenuity. By 1832, Shreve had done in a few years what the French and Spanish had not done in a century. He opened the river. When Shreve began, 75 steamboats operated on the river, and today over 500 million tons move through this system every year. Our inland waterway, America's center coast, is the envy of the world. From the beginning, Army engineers built the roads, bridged the rivers, fortified the front lines, built levees. We mapped the frontier, made the land navigable, turned geography into strategy. We've always done what needed doing, like the Mississippi River and Tributaries Project, near and dear to the heart of this community. And we've never done it alone. That spirit brought us to Vicksburg in 1873, and we never left. In 1879, Congress created the Mississippi River Commission, pairing officers with civilian engineers. That partnership is still our secret to success. It's the teamwork that defines us. Together, we have prevented trillions in flood damage, kept 500 million tons of trade moving each year, and built trust across generations. Let me say this again, nothing in this basin gets done alone, never has, and it never will. We stand on the shoulders of giants, as you heard from Pat, and this is an awesome reality. Today's Corps does look different than the Corps of 1775. We use satellites and simulation models now. We deploy civilians and soldiers side by side. We partner with the Coast Guard, National Guard, levee boards, local leaders in new ways like texting and on computers via email. Our mission has not changed, it has simply evolved. The next 250 years will bring more water, bigger storms, faster decisions, and greater risk. But here's what won't change. The Army is still on the watch, and the Mississippi River is still vital to our national security. As Secretary Driscoll, our Secretary of the Army, said, the future belongs to those who transform. And General George, our Chief, reminds us transformation must be constant, not once, but always. Here in the Mississippi Valley, we're not waiting for change. We're leading it, and we will win. To every teammate, past and present, I want to thank you. To every partner, many of you are here today, thank you. To every community, and this community specifically that trusts us, I want to thank you. We've come a long way, and we're just getting started, because the story of the Mississippi River, this story of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the story of American strength continues through us and with us. I'm a proud Army engineer who now calls Vicksburg home and has a Mississippi in her blood. I want to thank you all for your partnership, your friendship, and your trust. I salute you. Our future is bright with Team Erdick and Dr. Fleming, which you'll hear next. To the band, I want to highlight you set such a beautiful tone, and your music is heritage. I want to thank all our speakers and all who made today's event happen. Army strong, building strong, in God we trust.
As science and technology advances, so does the Corps of Engineers. We continue to refine our processes and embrace innovation. Our next speaker is very familiar with innovation. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Beth Fleming.
Good morning. Thank you, Colonel Dean. I appreciate those opening remarks. It's great to see everybody here today. All of our leadership, whether it be congressionals, federal, state, locals, academia, industry, we can't do anything without you. And it's so nice to have all of you present with us today to really mark this great celebration. It's incredible to think about, 250 years. I wonder what would happen if those people could be here today, what they would think about all the developments and all the things that we've accomplished along the Mississippi River, all on the shoulders of other people. It is an honor to speak to you today about an institution that has stood at the intersection of engineering service and national resilience for more than 2 centuries. I mean, what an incredible accomplishment of being here all this time. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is America's engineers. We love to do the toughest things that nobody else wants to do, that thinks things are impossible. Give me something that you say you cannot do, and I guarantee you, my mother would tell you I would do it somehow. From building locks and dams that sustain our inland waterways, to designing levees that protect millions of people, to constructing military facilities that help our soldiers have a comfortable place to be before they deploy and while they're training, and all the types of things that they need to sustain their families is an important part of what we do every day. What we get to do is what one of our leaders has said in the past. But what defines USACE is what I really want to focus on today is our future, and that is innovation. We love to do things that nobody else likes to do. Innovation is in our DNA. Today we celebrate our very beginnings. I can't imagine the courage to hire an engineer the very first time and put 2 assistants with that person, and here we are today celebrating all the things that our nation delivers, that we deliver for our nation here as we move forward. So at that time, when it's traced back to June 16, 1775, the Continental Congress did that. They identified a chief leader, a chief engineer, and put 2 assistants with that person. And here we are today, thousands strong, with our partners. We cannot do anything without you, and you are our future as well. So from that day forward that they did that, we continue in our vision and mission, which is to discover, develop, and deliver innovative solutions to the nation's toughest challenges. In fact, our motto is Essayons, let us try. Let us try to do things that nobody else wants to do. Let us do them differently. Let us challenge the status quo, and let us move forward in delivering water resources and supporting our nation in regard to defeating our adversaries for greater than 2 centuries. USACE has done everything from serving as our nation's earliest map makers, to charting the western frontier, to battling the Great Mississippi River flood of 1927, to today leveraging the power of artificial intelligence in building smarter and more resilient infrastructure, and advancing the use of virtual reality and high-performance computing, to delivering projects on time and on budget. We do things in an innovative way, whether it's creating new technologies that we embrace and take on as pioneers that do that, or using existing technology in new and different ways. While today's challenges may seem impossible to some, USACE thrives in these types of situations. We absolutely love it. Since 1775, our men and women have served to confront the generational challenges of their time, and today is no different. And we look forward to trying to predict what those challenges might be to protect everyone that's in the audience and well beyond. Lieutenant General Graham, our Chief of Engineers, has issued a call for innovation in everything we do. He has stated the world does not stand still, it is constantly changing. As the USACE Director of R&D and Director of ERDIC, I take that as a challenge, and I hope you do too, and you join with me in that challenge. We cannot stand still. We must constantly reassess, change, and revolutionize. Innovation must be an essential component of operating ethos across our 8 divisions and 45 districts. It's so important to our entire organization and all of our partners all around the world. We are the world's premier engineering organization. We shape the future. You shape the future. This is who we are. It is part of us, instilled from the very beginning to look for new ways to build better, build smarter, and now, more than ever, build forward into the future. We accomplish this by cultivating our workforce. That is our most important resource that we have. ensuring our partnerships that empower what you do with us. Together we move forward, setting the standard for sustainability and being globally ready in a world that's constantly changing and has so much uncertainty, now more than ever. We are becoming more agile in responding to our nation's needs and delivering world-class projects on time and within budget. To tell the story of USACE is to tell the story of innovation. For 250 years, we have been at the forefront of building our nation through civil works missions and projects in every state and territory all around the world. And we have been on the front lines and beyond, standing side by side with you and with our nation's warfighters, defending our nation and advancing Americans' interests across the globe. Being on the cutting edge of R&D not only means finding innovative ways to solve today's toughest challenges, it also means advancing basic knowledge and understanding of science. That's the component of how do we don't know exactly how it's going to be used, but that basic knowledge and science will become the underpinnings of everything that we do in the future in terms of our innovative approaches to problems. We must also best understand next generation technologies such as machine learning and artificial intelligence, but nothing at this point will replace the expertise that's in this crowd that I'm looking at. And you all are just fanning away, and I'm talking just as fast as I can. And those will be incorporated into current practice and can transform the way we deliver for our nation. The future is being built as we speak, and as we have always been, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is the foundation to building that future. And I am not more confident of that than anything in this world. And I'm such a proud member of that family, the USACE family, and the family with all of you, all of our partners. So thank you for being here today. And essay ons, we're going beyond trying, we're doing. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker will speak to the confluence of the past, present, and future. Mr. Austin Golding, President and CEO of Golding Barge Line.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. And to the many people in uniform I see, thank you for your service to our country. This is a real honor to get to follow such a distinguished panel to talk about the impact of y'all's organization that's had such a huge influence on my life and so many other people's lives around the country, whether they know it or not. The Corps of Engineers and the rest of the parties that are involved in maintaining our inland waterway system have really no idea the impact they have on the rest of the country's infrastructure, the way it trickles down to other forms of transportation. It is crucial to inland culture, inland river infrastructure, and inland river commerce to have a waterway that's dependable, that's reliable, and that you can plan a business around. Not to mention the clean water aspect of it. We consider our working environment to need to be pristine. We love to protect our inland waterways through solid lobbying. My core mission, whenever I go to Washington, D.C. as a business owner, is always infrastructure. I think the regulatory world that we have has a lot of experts in it, but when you live within the confines of the levees, our locks and dams, you understand how they're aging. You understand that they're past a lot of their useful lives. You understand that the lobby for them is often dwarfed by the lobby for railroads, highways, airports. We need to advocate for our ports, our infrastructure, our weather. Just in my career, we've seen record high water, record low water, 2011, 2019, and this year's high water events proved to be a test that everybody involved in maintaining our waterways was up for. It's unbelievable how consistent it's been in our working world. Whether it be low water or high water, our guys know that the waterways that they work on are dependable, reliable, and safe more than anything. We truly work together to make the most of this country's blessing. This inland waterway is the envy of the world. Many countries that we consider our rivals do not have the same access to their inland resources like our country does. It can't be taken for granted. It has to be made the most of, and it has to be invested in. As far as the Corps in Vicksburg goes, I'm born and raised here in town, lifelong Vicksburg resident. I thought everybody grew up with somebody that worked at the Corps coaching their baseball team. I thought everybody had people in their class whose parents were scientists. And I quickly found out as I went into the larger world that wasn't the case, and how lucky we were to be surrounded by such brain power and expertise. We've had a large impact here in Vicksburg. I don't know if that's me or the mic, but here we go. Oh, that's okay. I get paranoid when I get around a microphone. You know? So Vicksburg has a backbone, and that backbone is our federal citizenry. We have a great backbone here when it comes to economics that helps provide jobs, great wages, great community involvement, great community leaders. Many, many towns in Mississippi and around the Southeast envy having you guys here in our community. You provide a wonderful platform for us to build industry off of, for us to build other expertise off of, and we can count on you as a constant that's really recession-proof and always being more than dependable. This is a river town. I can see why the Corps has made a home here for so long. Many people may not know this, and I always like to try to point this out because I'm really, really proud of it. But the four, and I can include Terrell River Service in this, the four Mississippi-owned towboat companies that are here in Mississippi are all in Vicksburg. They're not in Greenville, they're not in Clarksdale, they're not in Natchez. Golding Barge Line, Yazoo River Towing, Magnolia Marine, Terrell River Service, along with all the federal mariners that are here in town. This is home base. This is the mariner capital of the Southeast. A lot of people considered Greenville the towboat capital of the country. Vicksburg quickly and quietly is taking that mantle up as we speak. I think it has a lot to do with the type of workforce we have here and the type of expertise we have here to manage the risk that is involved in going along our rivers. Looking forward, I think some things I'll point out because I want all of us to go forward and lobby for our collective partnership. Inland waterways transportation is the greenest form of mass transportation we have. In a world that's looking for less trucks on the highway, no more rail lines through our neighborhoods, and less pipelines posing a risk, the inland waterways have less carbon footprint than any other form of mass transportation. They're also the safest form and most environmentally form of transportation when it comes to cargo containment. And the best news is we have room for added capacity. I've seen charts where actual tonnage on the river was peaking during the 1990s. I asked my dad, what did you get me involved in? You know, and I have to remind people, we have room to expand, whether that be cargo containers, whether that be LNG, whether that be the products of the future. We'll continue to work with one another to try to figure out what those barges need to look like and how that transportation needs to take place. One of the great things, and I'll end on this, one of the great things about our industry is the type of jobs and the type of careers that we can offer. Not only within the ranks of the Corps of Engineers, but also within the private industries that provide this type of work and this type of job opportunities to our community. These jobs are careers. These jobs are high paying. These jobs can transform lives. I just want to thank the Corps of Engineers and everybody here that's put us in a position to succeed, because not only does it benefit the consumer, but it really benefits Vicksburg, it benefits the country, and it benefits everyday citizens that want a safe place to work that's going to allow them to build off their merit. Thank you for all you do for us, and we're looking forward to the future.
Thank you, Mr. Golding. In the Corps, we do nothing alone, and partnerships are integral to accomplishing the mission. Supporting the warfighter is another USACE mission that is critical to national defense. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker with the Mississippi National Guard, Brigadier General Chris Thomas.
Hey, thanks so much. I see that I've made a critical error in that if you're going to print out a speech, you need to adjust it to have it reflect that you took your reading glasses off, and you need to up the font. So I think I'm going to have to wing some stuff here. But first of all, I want to give a shout out to our 41st Army Band over there and our 412th Color Guard. Hey, Austin, thanks for that. Thanks for warming up the crowd. Dad joke. That's not in my speaking comments. But General Peoples, Ms. Hemphill, and Dr. Fleming, and Alderman Mayfield, and Sam, on behalf of Governor Reeves, who is a great supporter of the Mississippi National Guard, the Army Corps of Engineers, and everything we do in the state. Our thanks to him. Hey, listen, it's truly an honor to be here today to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. As an Army engineer officer, I'm humbled to be here and be part of this ceremony. As many of you know, the Army Engineer branch is one of the most diverse and interesting branches in the United States Army. Not only do we perform combat missions and support the warfighter, but we perform a multitude of other missions, including those critical engineering tasks that we've heard about today that sustain our national infrastructure. And I will say that one of the interesting things about being in the Army Corps of Engineers is that we span all three compos. So we're in the Army, the regular Army, we're in the Army Reserve, and we're in the Army National Guard. In fact, 2/3 of the Army Engineer branch is in the Reserve component. And ma'am, I'm happy to point out that General Ginn, who's our Adjutant General, is a fine and distinguished logistician, but both myself and Colonel Howell are slowly teaching him about the awesomeness of the Army Engineer branch, and we're this close to getting him to say essayons, so we're close. But it is in this capacity that we truly see the harnessing power of the partnerships that we talked about already. We, as a Mississippi National Guard, have quite a few of us in our civilian capacity that work for the Corps of Engineers right here in Vicksburg and many places all over the United States. And we're very excited about having them because it's a win-win situation. But I will say one of the partnership programs that I wanted to talk about very quickly is the Yallabusha River Project, which is just north of here. And ma'am, you're going to have to fact check me on this. Yallabusha is a Native American term, but I think it loosely translates into the Army Corps of Engineers are pretty doggone awesome. Oh, I got a hua too. Okay, good. But I will say this. The Yallabusha River Project is one of those unique circumstances where everything works together. We identified a problem, we looked for solutions. And that started with dialogue between the Army Corps of Engineers and our federal delegation, and our delegation went to work. Our entire delegation, sort of spearheaded by Representative Trent Kelly, ma'am, as you know, who's also an engineer officer. And we began that project. That turned on over $16 million to be used by the Army Corps of Engineers to fix a problem with the river drainage. We had approximately 218,000 acres of upstream acreage that was not being able to be used because of some of the flooding and the habitual problems that we had with this. And so, great example of the partnership between the Army Corps of Engineers and the Mississippi National Guard. Through some of that dialogue and through some of those relationships, the Mississippi National Guard and our engineering team partners or is partnering currently with the Army Corps of Engineers there in Yallabusha County, and it's a great training opportunity for us, real world skills. We put in over 150 hours of work on the project. We've pushed 1.2 miles of berm, and our surveyors have surveyed about 2.5 miles of riverfront, and we'll be able to transfer that data back to the Corps for future use projects. So, small example of one of the many things that we do within the Mississippi National Guard and our partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers. And I will close by saying this, ma'am, we look forward to this enduring partnership. We look forward to working with all of our many partners within the Army Corps of Engineers, and the future is bright. Essayons.
As we near the conclusion of our ceremony, I'd like to turn the floor over to our special guest, Mr. Sam Andrews, who is here on behalf of the Honorable Tate Reeves, Governor of Mississippi.
Good morning. Excited to be here with everyone today, and most especially honored to represent my boss, the 65th Governor of the state of Mississippi, as a Vicksburg native and resident. So it's much more special than I deserve. Instead of reading this entire proclamation, what I've noticed is all the incredible speakers who've come before me have basically encapsulated it. So even though it's a great breeze out here today, and even though it's gone incredibly well, I'm just going to breeze through a few high points, if that's okay with everybody. For 250 years, the Corps has built and protected and advanced this nation, with our state playing a key role in that legacy. With 3 major USACE organizations headquartered in Vicksburg, their work strengthens not only our state, but the entire nation. On behalf of Governor Reeves, we want to thank you for making Mississippi known as a home for innovation, engineering excellence, and public service. And because of the governor and the state's gratefulness for all that you do for our entire state, he was proud to proclaim the month of June 2025 the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Month in the state of Mississippi. So with that, thank you so much for everybody being here. I believe we're going to take a quick photo with the proclamation, but thanks to, like Austin said, thanks to everyone here in uniform for your service to our country. Thank you for making Vicksburg the incredible place that it is, most especially from a native of the town. Thank you for your presence here. We hope it continues for a long, long time. Thank you so much.
All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna start right here. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Over there. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, this gentleman right here. 3, 2, 1. Right here. Please and thank you. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna take 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Anybody else?
One right here, guys.
Right over there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews, and pass our appreciation on to the governor. It is a true honor for June to be designated as both Corps of Engineer Month by the city and state. For 250 years, the Corps of Engineers has worked to safely deliver quality projects. Thank you to the nearly 30 team members from Public Affairs, Logistics, Protocol, CIO G6, Security, GIS, the museum, and our park rangers who worked to make today's event a success. To our special guests, Mr. Andrews, Alderman Mayfield, General Thomas, and Mr. Golding. You are forever part of the Corps of Engineers' rich history. And thank you, everyone, for commemorating our anniversary with us. Building strong, together, be all you can be, and happy 250th birthday to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. At this time, please stand for the playing of the Engineer and Army songs and the retiring of the colors. The words to the songs are in your program if you'd like to sing along. Thank you all so much for joining us for today's ceremony. Please join us for refreshments in the Jesse Brent Lower Mississippi Museum. Thank you.